So I think it's safe to say that we are all a victim of not telling people stuff sometimes, and I really fall under that category, which is why I made this video. And I'm going to talk about the 5 reasons why I don't tell people that I am a writer. But before that, let's talk about me as a person. I am the type of person, I care what other people think, and I'm not sure what percentage of other writers might fall into this category, but I can guarantee you that the fact that I care about what people think is why I don't tell them a good percentage of the time why I'm a writer. For example, I half the time don't wear my septum ring. I hide it up inside my nose. Why? Because I care what people think. I care when I'm passing down the street and I look at little old Grammy and I'm like, wow, Grammy's probably judging me right now. Even though it really doesn't matter. It's my life. Like, if I want to have my septum pierced, then I can have my septum pierced. And this is the same reason why I don't tell anyone in my family a lot about me. They don't know my political views because it does differ from their political views. They don't know who I vote for in the elections. They don't know where I stand on issues. And if they do think they know, it's because they've guessed. I've never told them that. I let people believe that I am whatever they want me to be. And we won't get into that, but we'll just say I let them believe that. That's what makes them sleep better at night. So the number one reason why I don't tell people I'm a writer is because, number one, it makes you vulnerable. You are a writer, so you have this intimate piece of yourself that you put into your work. So the first thing I ever published was a short collection of short stories and poetry. And let me tell you, some of that stuff was very dark. It was dark and emo. And my family read it. And by family, I'm talking about my mom and dad specifically. And that kind of makes me uneasy because that makes me vulnerable, because then all of a sudden they understand how I feel, and maybe I don't want them to. Maybe that's why writing's like this coveted thing you just don't want to share with other people. It's because it's super vulnerable. Which brings me to my second point. Writing is subjective. Someone may read your writing and think it's terrible. They may not want to ever read anything you write ever again. And that's okay. That's why we're writers. We're writers because there is a specific group of people that we will appeal to, but it's not going to be the majority. We all have a style. We all have we have certain themes that we always come back to. And that's okay. It is subjective. Not everyone will like it. But if you tell people, then they get to have their own subjective opinion, which is why I also don't tell them, I guess. Yeah. Number 3. People ask too many questions. They want to know all about this world you've created. They want to know your characters, this alternative universe, how it functions, how'd you come up with all these ideas, and they want to know the nitpicky things, and some of these you may not have fleshed out yet. For example, I know a lot about my world, but there, of course, are things that I have not figured out about my world yet, and I'm going to get there. So when people know that I'm a writer, then I have to answer these questions. And sometimes people just are relentless and they have 1,000,001 questions and you can't answer them all. So, I don't tell them I'm a writer. Number 4, people don't understand what it means when you say you are a writer. To them, being a writer means it could be a hobby. It could be something that maybe they think you don't take seriously. Oh, you're right. Okay, cool. I play the guitar. Big whoop-de-doo. No. Being a writer is something very serious. It takes a lot of your energy, time, patience, dedication, perseverance. There are so many words that go into being a writer. And if you tell someone you're a writer, they probably, maybe, will not understand what that really means to you. They just have this vague conception of what a writer is, and they don't fully comprehend what it means to you. Number 5, I don't tell people that I am a writer because then all of a sudden there are these expectations. And you know what I don't like? I don't like having expectations put on me because then I have to live up to the expectations. And that is just too much to ask for. I'm not about that life. I don't want expectations on me. So if I just don't tell them, then we have no expectations and no problem. So basically, I have a whole bunch of reasons for why I don't tell people that I'm a writer. But at the end of the day, I think it's a good thing because it forces you out of that comfort zone. You feel uncomfortable. You have to talk about being a writer, what it means to you, what things you talk about, and it's going to be subjective, like I've said. But what if that person you talk to enjoys your writing? What if that person needs your writing? It's something that they have been looking for, is like this perfect connection. It's something that they relate to and whatnot. So I think even though there are so many reasons why I wouldn't tell someone I'm a writer, there are so many good reasons as well. So I guess I'll have to make a video on that too. But that is all I've got. So I'll see you guys next time.